O Krishna, I wish to understand the true nature of renunciation. What truly distinguishes the abandonment of action from the relinquishing of its fruits? Some learned people declare that all kinds of actions should be given up as evil, while others maintain a different truth. Acts of sacrifice, charity, and discipline should never be abandoned. They must certainly be performed, for they purify even the wisest souls. These prescribed duties must be performed without attachment and without any expectation of reward. This, O Arjuna, is my supreme judgment. To abandon your prescribed duties due to illusion is classified as renunciation in the mode of ignorance. Such evasion leads only to darkness. To give up prescribed duties because they are troublesome or cause bodily discomfort is driven by passion. Such renunciation is never elevating. When duties are performed merely because they ought to be done, without any attachment to the outcome, that renunciation is considered pure and wise. Learn from me, O mighty armed one, the 5 factors necessary for the completion of all actions, as declared in the ultimate wisdom of Vedanta. The physical body, the individual doer, the various senses, the multiple kinds of efforts, and ultimately the divine providence. These are the 5 causes. Therefore, anyone who perceives himself as the sole agent of action, blinded by an untrained intellect, is ignorant and does not see the truth. He who is free from the ego of being the doer, and whose intellect is unattached, remains completely unbound by the karmic reactions of his actions. Knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knower are the 3 factors that motivate action. The senses, the work, and the doer constitute the action itself. According to the science of the modes of nature, knowledge, action, and the doer are of 3 distinct types. Hear now of these distinctions. That knowledge by which one sees a single, undivided, eternal reality within all diverse living beings, know that knowledge to be in the mode of goodness. Conversely, the knowledge that perceives all living entities as entirely separate and disconnected beings, driven by differences, is in the mode of passion. Action that is prescribed by duty, performed without attachment, devoid of love or hatred, and without the desire for rewards, is called pure. But action performed with great strain, driven by the desire to gratify the senses and fueled by false ego, is declared to be in the mode of passion. A worker who is free from attachment, lacking ego, endowed with resolve, and steady in both success and failure, is a worker in goodness. A worker who is attached to the fruits of his labor, who is greedy, violent, and constantly swept between joy and sorrow, is a worker in passion. Now, hear of the intellect. That intellect which clearly understands what should be done and what should not, what binds and what liberates, is pure. Hear from me now about the 3 kinds of happiness, O Arjuna, by which one experiences joy and reaches the end of all suffering.
That happiness which seems like poison in the beginning, but tastes like nectar in the end.
Happiness arising from the contact of the senses with their objects appears like nectar at first, but inevitably turns into poison. This is passion. By worshipping the Supreme through the performance of one's own innate work, born of one's inherent nature, a human being attains spiritual perfection. It is far better to follow your own natural duty, even if it seems flawed, than to perfectly execute the duty of another. Therefore, one should never abandon their innate work, even if it is accompanied by defects. For he whose intellect is unattached everywhere, who has conquered his lower self and extinguished his desires, attains the supreme perfection of freedom. Learn from me in brief how one who has achieved this perfection also attains the supreme Brahman, the highest consummation of absolute knowledge. Through unwavering devotion, he comes to know me as I truly am, and having known me in essence, he immediately enters into the Supreme. Though engaged in all kinds of actions, the one who takes absolute refuge in me attains the eternal and imperishable abode by my divine grace. Abandon all varieties of dharmas and simply surrender unto me alone. I shall liberate you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear.
My dear Krishna, my illusion is now destroyed. By your grace, I have regained my memory and am freed from all doubts. I am now firm and entirely free from hesitation. I shall act according to your word.